Welcome to tonight's sleep story. Let's drift into a soothing story together as you begin your journey into a restful and rejuvenating sleep. Imagine a small, humble seed lying quietly in the soft, fertile earth, waiting for the right moment to begin its journey. The world around it is still bathed in the soft light of early spring. You can feel the subtle warmth of the sun filtering down through the air, its rays gently touching the surface of the earth, coaxing the seed to awaken. The air smells fresh damp with the promise of new beginnings. The earth beneath is cool, rich, and welcoming, like a bed ready to cradle a new life. As the seed lies there, nestled among the soil, it holds within it the potential to grow, to rise up, to become something more. It may seem small and insignificant now, but within it is a vast energy, a latent strength that only needs the right conditions to bloom. You can almost sense the pulse of life within it, a quiet hum, as if it too is waiting for the first signal to start its journey. In the stillness of the morning, the first tremors of life begin. The seed stirs slightly, its delicate skin beginning to crack open, allowing the first tiny root to stretch downward into the earth. The sensation is almost imperceptible, but the tiny root knows exactly where it needs to go beneath the soil, into the darkness to search for water and nourishment. There is no hesitation, no question in the seed's movements. It simply begins, because that is what life does. As the root presses deeper into the soil, you can feel the coolness of the earth, the dampness that promises life. The soil gives way easily, as though welcoming the seed into its embrace. The seed, still fragile and soft, continues to burrow down, searching for sustenance. The air around is quiet, the world seemingly at peace. You can almost hear the earth's pulse, its rhythm, as if everything is in perfect alignment. The seed's journey is just beginning, and though it may be small, its will is unwavering. The warmth of the sun above continues to grow stronger, and soon the seed feels the stirrings of new growth in the other direction. A tiny shoot begins to form at the top of the seed, pushing upwards, breaking free from the earth's grasp, reaching toward the sky. It is slow, tentative at first, but with each moment the shoot pushes further, driven by the quiet determination that exists within it. The seed is no longer just a dormant speck of life. It is becoming something more, something that will one day stand tall and strong. As the first tender green sprout breaks through the surface of the soil, the air shifts slightly. You can feel the coolness of the evening breeze brushing against your skin, carrying with it the faintest scent of earth and rain. The world feels alive, full of energy. The small sprout, though delicate, is no longer alone. It is part of something larger, a greater rhythm of life that is unfolding all around it. In this moment, you feel a quiet connection to the earth itself. You can sense the rhythm of the seasons, the slow but steady passage of time. The seed has begun its journey, and though it faces challenges, a head drought, harsh winds, and the unpredictability of the world, it moves forward with determination. It is not yet a plant, not yet a flower or a stalk of grain, but it has begun, and that beginning is everything. The sun begins to dip lower in the sky, casting the earth in a soft golden glow. The gentle breeze continues to stir the leaves of the trees, and the first stars begin to twinkle overhead. The sprout stands there, small and fragile, but filled with the promise of what is to come. The seed has made its first step into the world, and the journey ahead, though uncertain, is full of possibility. As the days pass, the once gentle warmth of the sun begins to intensify, casting long shadows over the land. The sprout, now growing more steadily, feels the tug of the earth below, urging its roots to stretch deeper, to find the hidden water that lies buried in the soil. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth, rich and full of promise, yet the heat from the sun begins to grow relentless, searing the surface of the land. The sprout feels the strain, its delicate leaves quivering ever so slightly under the pressure. It is still young, still fragile, but the sprout is learning to face the world head on. The soil beneath it, once soft and welcoming, now feels harder, more stubborn. The ground, cracked and dry in places, tests the sprout's resolve. The rain that had once come so easily is now scarce, and the once pleasant breeze seems to have abandoned the earth. In this new, harsher world, the sprout struggles to find its balance. It sways in the wind, feeling the pull of the heavy air and the sting of the sun, yet it continues to grow, its roots pushing further into the dry earth, reaching for the moisture it so desperately needs. Asterisk, you can almost hear the tension in the air, the weight of the world pressing down on the fragile sprout. It is a quiet struggle, but a struggle nonetheless. The earth beneath it shifts slightly, as if watching the sprout's efforts with silent patience. The roots, though small, continue to seek the water hidden deep within the soil. The sprout, though its leaves tremble in the heat, continues to stretch toward the sky, hoping for the relief of the clouds, the touch of rain that will ease its burden. The wind picks up, carrying with it the dry scent of the earth, the heat of the day, and the promise of an approaching storm. The leaves of the sprout tremble slightly, but they are still too young to withstand the full force of the wind. The branches of the nearby trees sway with more confidence, their roots deep within the earth, but the sprout is still learning, still finding its way. It braces itself as the first gusts of wind rush through the field, the force of it threatening to snap the fragile stalk. Yet, despite the pressure, it does not break. The sprout bends, its leaves fluttering wildly, but it stands firm. It is learning the art of resilience. As the storm approaches, dark clouds gather overhead, casting a shadow over the land. The air grows heavier and the temperature drops, but the sprout holds on. The first drops of rain begin to fall, light at first, then heavier, soaking the earth with the much-needed moisture. The sprout feels the rain soaking its roots, and a quiet sense of relief washes over it. The soil softens once more, and the air, once thick with the weight of the sun, is now cool and refreshing. The rain continues to fall, soft and steady, as if the earth itself is soothing the sprout, giving it the strength to carry on. The leaves of the sprout, once brittle and curled in the heat, now begin to unfurl, their edges softening as they soak up the rain. The roots, which had struggled so much to find water, now drink deeply, their reach extending further into the earth, tapping into the lifeblood of the land. For the first time, the sprout feels truly alive. It has faced the challenges of the dry earth, the scorching sun, and the harsh winds. But with the rain comes relief, and with it, growth. The delicate stem straightens slightly, the leaves growing a little fuller, a little stronger. The earth beneath it feels more welcoming, and the air around it seems to carry a new sense of possibility. As the storm begins to pass, the wind slows and the rain becomes a light drizzle. The sprout stands taller, its leaves glistening with droplets of water. The world around it feels quieter now, the storm having passed and the air settling into a peaceful calm. The sprout, though still small, feels a quiet strength rising within it. It has survived its first great test. The storm, though fierce, has not broken it. Instead, it has nourished it, giving it the strength to continue. The sun, which had hidden behind the storm clouds, begins to emerge once more, its light soft and diffused by the lingering rain. The warmth returns, but it is gentler now, not the harsh blaze that had once threatened the sprout, but a tender glow, a promise of new beginnings. The earth, damp and refreshed, carries the scent of life, a life that is beginning to take shape in the sprout's small yet determined form. And so, the sprout grows stronger and steadier with each passing day. It continues to stretch toward the sky, its leaves unfurling, its roots sinking deeper into the earth. The challenges it faces are far from over, but for now, the sprout knows that it has the strength to face them. The world, once a harsh and unyielding place, now feels a little softer, a little more forgiving. And as the sprout reaches upward, the kingdom of the earth, with all its trials and triumphs, continues to grow with it. As the days stretch into weeks, the landscape around the sprout begins to change again. The world continues its slow, predictable rhythm. The sun rises and sets, the breeze stirs the leaves, and the earth shifts beneath the tender roots of the sprout. What was once a single, fragile stalk has now grown into a sturdy plant, its stem thickening and its leaves reaching toward the sky with greater confidence. The soil, once cracked and dry, now feels softer, more yielding underfoot, as the rains have replenished it and the earth breathes with renewed life. The warmth of the sun, though still strong, has become more balanced. The gentle heat, now softened by the lessons of past storms, nurtures the plant, coaxing it into fuller growth. It stands tall, proud yet humble, amidst the quiet stillness of the field. The leaves shimmer in the soft light, their edges curling slightly in the breeze, each one a testament to the plant's steady progress. And though it may not yet be a flower, nor the tall, strong stalk it will one day become, there is a quiet strength in its existence, a quiet understanding that it is exactly where it is meant to be. Beneath the surface, the roots of the plant continue to stretch deeper into the earth, feeling their way through the soil, reaching for the nutrients and the moisture that lie hidden below. The plant's connection to the earth has deepened, and with each passing day, it feels more in tune with the world around it. The roots, once hesitant, now grow with purpose, steady and sure, like the pulse of the land itself. One morning, as the first light of dawn stretches across the field, the plant stands in the quiet peace of the early day, its leaves glistening with dew. The air is fresh, crisp, and still, and for a moment, the world feels suspended in time, as if everything is holding its breath. The plant, now fully rooted, stands firm but relaxed in the morning light. It is not rushing. It is not seeking anything. It simply exists, grounded in the soil, nourished by the earth, embraced by the sun. And yet, despite its growth, the plant still faces challenges. A soft breeze stirs, picking up strength, and the plant feels its leaves trembling slightly in response. The wind is not harsh, but it carries a cool bite to it, a reminder that the seasons are shifting, that the world is always in motion, always changing. The plant sways gently in the breeze, its stem bending slightly as the wind tugs at it, but it does not break. It has learned the delicate art of resilience, of bending without snapping, of swaying without losing its balance. The rain, too, returns, though this time it is a gentle shower, a soft mist that settles over the field. The plant soaks in the moisture, feeling the life-giving water seep into its roots, soothing the earth beneath it. The rain is not a storm this time, but a quiet, nurturing presence, one that provides the necessary sustenance for growth without overwhelming the plant. It is as though the plant has come to understand that growth, like life itself, is a balance between pushing forward, reaching up, and finding peace and stillness. As the weeks pass, the plant continues to grow, its leaves growing larger, and its stems stronger. The world around it, too, continues to change. The sun moves higher in the sky, and the earth warms with each passing day. The plant stands proudly in the field, surrounded by the gentle hum of nature, by the song of birds, and the rustle of leaves in the breeze. It is no longer just a fragile sprout, but a sturdy, thriving part of the world, a world that has embraced it, supported it, and allowed it to grow. Through each challenge, each change, the plant has learned to adapt, to bend, and to grow. It knows now that growth is not always a straight line. It is a series of moments of gentle winds and soft rains, of bright suns and quiet nights. The plant has learned to trust in the rhythm of the world, to trust that the earth will provide, and that even in the harshest moments, there is always something to sustain it, something to help it continue on its path. In this moment, as the plant stands in the warmth of the afternoon sun, you can almost feel its quiet strength, its deep connection to the land. It has grown from a small, fragile seed into something powerful, something that is a part of the very rhythm of nature. The plant has learned to live in harmony with the world around it, to accept the changes and challenges that life brings, and to move forward with patience and resilience. As the days continue to flow, the plant stands tall, its leaves now broad and firm, its stems sturdy and unyielding. The seasons shift once again, and the warmth of summer begins to settle over the land, infusing the earth with a gentle heat. The air hums with the quiet pulse of life, and the plant, now fully grown, feels the soft embrace of the sun as it reaches. Higher in the sky, the once small sprout has transformed into a beautiful, thriving plant, its roots deep within the earth, its leaves stretching outward to drink in the light. The plant's growth has been slow, steady, but it is now at the peak of its strength. Every leaf, every vein within it speaks of the time and patience it has taken to arrive at this moment. It stands firm against the wind, the rain, and the sun, no longer fragile, but strong, its roots deeply woven into the fabric of the earth. It has learned to bend in the breeze, to sway with the changing winds, but never to break. Its resilience, honed through the trials of growth, is now fully realized. One morning, as the soft light of dawn spills across the fields, a new change comes, a gentle whisper in the air, a shift in the atmosphere. The plant feels it before it sees it, the subtle change that signals something new, something life-altering. It is a quiet pulse, a ripple through the air that moves with the softness of a sigh. The plant's leaves tremble slightly in response, as though they, too, sense what is coming. The wind shifts direction, bringing with it the scent of rain, and in the distance the sky darkens, as if preparing for something larger than what the plant has experienced before. Dot, as the storm clouds roll in, the plant stands firm, its roots securely planted in the earth. The wind picks up, carrying the first heavy raindrops of the approaching storm. The plant braces itself not with fear, but with the quiet certainty that it has weathered many storms before. This one will not be different. Its leaves flutter in the wind, but they do not break. Its stem bends, but it does not snap. The storm may come, but the plant knows it has the strength to endure. Asterisk, the rain begins to fall in earnest, each drop, like a gentle tap on the plant's leaves, soaking the earth beneath it. The water is cool, refreshing, nourishing. The earth, once dry and cracked, now drinks deeply from the storm, its thirst quenched by the steady downpour. The plant's roots, deep within the soil, drink deeply as well, drawing up the moisture that will sustain it through the storm. There is no rush in its movements, no urgency. It simply receives, silently, steadily, as it has always done. Dot, in the midst of the storm, the plant feels something shift within it. It is not a moment of fear or struggle, but of peace, a quiet understanding that the storm, like all things, will pass. The wind may howl, the rain may fall, but the plant remains firm, unshaken. It is a reminder that life's challenges, no matter how fierce, are but temporary. In the end, it is the strength to endure, to adapt, and to grow that leads to true resilience. Doubt, as the storm begins to subside, the plant feels the air around it soften. The wind slows, the rain eases, and the sky begins to clear. The sun peeks through the clouds, casting its golden light across the field. The plant, drenched but unbroken, stands tall in the aftermath of the storm. It has been tested, but it has not faltered. It has weathered the storm, and now it basks in the calm that follows. The earth beneath it is rich with moisture, its roots deep in the soil, stronger than ever before. With each drop of rain that falls, with each gust of wind that passes, the plant grows. It grows not just in size, but in understanding. It has learned that challenges are not to be feared, but embraced. It has learned that the storms, the struggles, and the uncertainties of life are simply part of the natural rhythm of growth. They are moments to be endured, not defeated by. And in this understanding, the plant has found its true strength. As the storm clears and the sun once again shines upon the land, the plant stands proudly in the light. Its leaves, fresh and green, glisten with the droplets of rain. The earth around it hums with the energy of renewal, the promise of continued growth. And as the plant stretches toward the sky, it feels a deep sense of gratitude for the storms that have come, for the lessons they have taught, and for the strength they have brought. The days continue to flow peacefully, and with each passing moment, the plant grows stronger. The storm, though intense, has passed, leaving behind a sense of calm and renewal. The air is crisp now, with the faint scent of earth and fresh rainfall lingering in the breeze. The sun, now soft and golden, bathes the plant in its gentle warmth, offering the perfect balance of light and heat for further growth. The plant, having weathered the harshest of challenges, feels the quiet hum of life within it, a rhythm that pulses softly beneath its leaves and through its sturdy stem. Now, more than ever, it is clear that the plant has learned the subtle dance of resilience. It has faced adversity, the fierce winds and torrential rains, and it has come out the other side not only surviving but thriving. Each leaf that unfurls, each tendril that reaches toward the sky, speaks of its unwavering determination to grow, no matter the obstacles. Its roots, once delicate, are now deep and firmly entrenched in the soil, giving it the strength to withstand any future storms that may come its way. The field around it is quieter now, the frenetic energy of growth settling into a peaceful hum. The plant's surroundings, once filled with competition and struggle, have calmed. The other plants, too, are reaching upward, their stems standing tall, their flowers blooming with gentle grace. The harmony of the land is evident, the balance between the soil, the air, and the sun. The plant has learned that true growth does not rush. It does not force itself to bloom before it is ready. It simply follows the rhythm of the earth, growing. In its own time, the days grow warmer, and the plant begins to feel something new, something more than just the simple urge to grow. It feels the stirrings of something deeper, something that speaks to its very core. The flowers that once seemed distant, a goal that was far off, now begin to form. Tiny buds, soft and green, begin to appear at the tips of its branches. The plant feels a quiet thrill at the sight. These buds, delicate and informed, hold the promise of something new, something to be shared with the world. The plant's growth is no longer just about surviving. It is about flourishing. The leaves that once trembled in the wind are now firm and strong, their surfaces catching the sunlight. The stalk, once thin and fragile, is now thick and resilient, able to stand tall and proud against the elements. The roots buried deep within the earth have become the very foundation of the plant's strength. The plant has become a symbol of patience and persistence, of the quiet power that comes from moving forward, one step at a time, no matter the challenges that arise. The first of the flowers begins to open, its petals unfurling slowly like a soft promise to the world. The air is filled with the faint scent of bloom, delicate yet sweet, and the plant stands there, basking in the quiet beauty of its transformation. The flower is not large, but it is perfect in its simplicity, a symbol of everything the plant has learned: patience, resilience, and the quiet strength that comes with growing in harmony with nature. As the days pass, the plant continues to bloom, its flowers becoming more vibrant, their colors deepening as the season progresses. The world around it has changed too. The breeze is softer, the sun gentler, and the rains, though frequent, are now nurturing and kind. The plant, once a small, fragile seed, has blossomed into something full of life and beauty. Its flowers, now fully open, stand proudly in the field, a testament to the journey it has taken, to the strength it has found within itself. But the plant's journey is not yet over. The blooms that have emerged are only the beginning of a new cycle. As the flowers fade and the days grow shorter, the plant begins to prepare for the next phase of its life. The seeds that it will produce are still forming deep within its heart, waiting for the right moment to be released into the world. The plant, though it has already given so much, still holds something more to offer. It is a quiet reminder that growth, though often slow, always leads to something new, something that will continue the cycle of life and bring new life into the world. As the days gradually shift, the first traces of autumn begin to appear. The sunlight, once strong and unyielding, now feels softer, less intense, casting a golden warmth across the land. The plant, having reached its full bloom, stands tall and proud in the gentle light. Its flowers, now mature and fully opened, are stunning, sight-vibrant hues of yellow and green, rich with the life force it has gathered over the seasons. The wind, though still carrying the crisp coolness of the approaching season, now feels more like a gentle caress, soft against the plant's leaves, as if nature itself is saying goodbye to summer, preparing for the next cycle of life. The plant, having blossomed and borne its flowers, now faces the quieter part of its journey. The flowers, once so full of life and promise, are beginning to fade. Petals gently fall to the ground, and the plant's once strong, green leaves begin to turn shades of amber, yellow, and gold. The days grow shorter, and the coolness of the air deepens, carrying with it the scent of the changing season crisp. Leaves, damp earth, and the faint sweetness of the last fruits of summer. Beneath the surface, hidden from sight, a new transformation is taking place. The plant's energy, once focused on blooming and growing, now begins to turn inward. The seeds that have formed deep within the heart of the flowers are ripening, gathering strength, ready to be released into the world. The plant, having shared its beauty and life with the earth, now begins to prepare for the next phase of its existence. Though its flowers are fading, though its leaves are falling, there's a quiet promise in the air, the promise of renewal, of continuation, of life in another form. The wind picks up slightly, rustling the fallen leaves around the plant, and the earth beneath it feels colder. Yet, despite the chill, there is no fear. The plant knows that this is part of the natural rhythm, part of the cycle that has always been in place. It does not fight the change. Instead, it embraces it, understanding that this is not an end, but a transition. The earth, though cooler now, still carries the warmth of the sun's touch, and the plant, with its roots deep in the soil, feels that warmth flowing through it still. Even in this quieter phase. As the plant's flowers begin to wilt, the last of its seeds are released into the air, carried by the soft breeze that rustles through the field. They float gently, weightlessly, drifting across the land, ready to take root in the soil below. These seeds, though small, carry within them all the wisdom and strength that the plant has gathered during its life. They are not simply remnants of a past season. They are the promise of future life, future growth, and future beauty. And though the plant's physical form begins to fade, its legacy lives on in these seeds, waiting for the right moment to begin their own journey. As the last leaves of the plant fall to the ground, the world around it continues its quiet dance of change. The earth, now richer and deeper with the nutrients of the season, begins to settle into its own rhythm, preparing for the coming of winter. The plant, though no longer standing tall and proud in the sun, is now at peace. It has given all it had to give, and now it simply exists in the quiet, restful embrace of the earth. The plant's roots remain firm and strong, deep in the soil, grounding it to the earth. Though the top of the plant has withered, its legacy continues through the seeds that have been scattered into the world, through the quiet energy that flows beneath the surface of the earth. The cycle of life once again comes full circle. The plant, though no longer visible, is still a part of the land, a part of the earth's rhythm, waiting to be reborn in another form. As the cold settles in and the earth grows still, the plant's journey does not end. It simply transforms, becoming a part of the quiet rhythm of nature. The air is crisp now, and the world feels still and peaceful, as though the earth itself is resting, preparing for the renewal that will come with the spring. And as the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, there is a sense of calm in the world, a sense of peace that comes from knowing that even in the quietest moments, life continues, ever moving, ever growing. Asterisk as the days grow shorter, the earth settles into its familiar rhythm, preparing for the colder months ahead. The winds shift, bringing a chill that cuts through the air, but beneath the surface of the land, something stirs, a quiet, unseen movement, a promise of what is to come. The plant, now a quiet shadow in the field, has returned to the earth, its life force no longer visible, but deeply woven into the soil, into the very pulse of the world. The flowers have faded, the leaves fallen, but the legacy of the plant endures. The seeds, scattered gently by the wind, now lie nestled in the soil, waiting. They are small, almost imperceptible, but within them is the promise of new life, of growth, of transformation. They rest in the earth, their delicate shells waiting for the right moment to break free, to push their way through the soil and reach toward the light. For now, they are silent, but their potential is vast, stretching out into the future, ready to begin the cycle again. The land around them is quiet now, save for the soft whispers of the wind and the occasional rustle of leaves. The trees, though barren, stand tall and firm, their roots deep in the earth, waiting for the warmth of spring to stir them once again. The animals, too, have quieted, retreating into their burrows and nests, preparing for the months ahead. The world is still, as if holding its breath, waiting for the next season to arrive. Yet even in the stillness, there is life deep, quiet, an eternal asterisk. The air carries the scent of damp earth, of leaves decaying and returning to the soil. The plant, once so vibrant and full of life, is now a part of that cycle, returning to the earth that gave it life. Its roots remain, its essence lingering in the soil, feeding the very land that nourished it. And though the plant is gone, its memory, its contribution to the world remains. The land continues to evolve, to grow, and to transform just as the plant did before it. The seeds, now resting in the soil, are not simply remnants of the past. They carry within them the essence of the plant's journey, the struggles, the triumphs, the resilience. In these seeds lies the promise of renewal, the quiet understanding that life, though it may fade, never truly ends. It simply shifts, transforms, and continues in a new form. And in this cycle, the plant has found its place in the grand rhythm of nature, its life, its growth, its beauty, all part of something much larger than itself. As the season continues to change, the earth prepares for the inevitable return of spring. The cold months will pass, the frost will melt, and the seeds will begin to stir. Beneath the surface, the soil will warm and the roots will begin to stretch once again. The cycle will continue, the plant will return, and the story of growth, of resilience, and of life will unfold once more. For now there is quiet. The earth rests, the land waits, and in the stillness there is peace. The plant's legacy is not in what it was, but in what it has given, the lessons of patience, of persistence, and of harmony with the earth. These lessons will continue to guide the seeds as they begin their own journey, as they too take root in the soil and rise toward the light. And in the calm of the winter evening, as the stars begin to sparkle in the clear, cold sky, the earth hums with the promise of what lies ahead. The plant has returned to the soil, but its spirit lingers in the land, in the seeds, in the very air that surrounds it. And with the coming of spring, its story will begin a new dot as the cold months pass. The world around the plant begins to stir. The earth, once still and quiet, now hums with a slow, steady energy. The frost melts away, and the first soft hints of spring begin to touch the land. The air, once crisp and cold, now carries with it the faintest scent of new growth, the promise of something fresh, something beautiful. The seeds, still nestled in the soil, feel the subtle shift in the world above them. The warmth of the sun is returning, and the earth is beginning to wake. Though they have remained dormant through the long winter months, are not idle. They have been waiting, gathering strength, and now as the temperature rises, they begin to stir. You can almost feel the slight, gentle pulse of life moving through them, deep within the soil. The earth, still cool but beginning to warm, offers its support, inviting the seeds to stretch out, to reach upward toward the light. The air feels soft, full of possibility, as if the world itself is encouraging them to begin once more. One by one, the seeds begin to sprout, breaking through the soil in tiny, delicate movements. The first shoots are fragile, small, and green, barely visible against the rich earth. But with each passing day, they grow, inch by inch, stretching upward toward the sky. Their roots, though delicate, begin to spread out beneath them, searching for nourishment, finding their way through. The soil. The seeds are not merely surviving, they are thriving, growing, becoming part of something larger than themselves. The plant that was once a single seed now stands as a reminder of the power of patience, the quiet strength that grows through perseverance. These new sprouts, these new beginnings, are not just the continuation of the plant's story, they are the beginning of a new cycle, a new chapter in the rhythm of life. The earth, still warm from the sun's touch, embraces each sprout, welcoming them with open arms. And though the world may feel different than before, there is a sense of familiarity in the air, a sense that this is how things are meant to. Beat out the wind, which had carried the cold of winter, now blows more gently, carrying with it the scent of fresh earth and new growth. The trees, which had been bare throughout the cold months, now begin to show the faintest signs of life's small buds appearing at the tips of their branches. The birds return, their songs filling the air with a melody that is both familiar and new. The world around the sprouts is changing, and with it, their growth continues, steady and sure. You can almost see it now, the sprouts, their tiny leaves reaching up toward the sky, eager to feel the warmth of the sun on their surfaces. They are still young, still fragile, but there is an undeniable strength within them. They have been nourished by the earth, supported by the rain, and guided by the sun. With each day, they grow a little taller, a little stronger, stretching toward the light, becoming more confident in their place within the world. As the days pass, the air warms further and the sprouts continue to grow. The field, once quiet and still, is now full of life. The other plants, too, are beginning their journeys, stretching toward the sun, reaching for the sky. The earth is alive with movement, with growth, with possibility. The world is unfolding once again, just as it always has. And yet, as the plant continues to grow, it knows that this journey too will one day end. It will face challenges just as it did before, but for now, it feels only the quiet joy of being alive, of growing, of stretching toward the sky. The earth continues to hum beneath its roots, steady and strong, while the sun bathes it in warmth. The world is full of potential, full of promise, and as the plant reaches upward, it feels the rhythm of the earth once more slow, steady, eternal dot as spring continues to stretch across the land. The once barren earth now hums with the quiet energy of rebirth. The sprouts, which had once been fragile and small, have now become sturdy young plants. Their stems stand tall and firm, their leaves glistening with the soft dew of morning. Each one, though still small in comparison to the mighty trees that surround them, carries within it the strength of the earth, the sun, and the rains. The rhythm of growth is steady, and in each plant's quiet expansion, there is a sense of harmony, a sense of purpose. The earth, now warm from the sun's rays, holds the plants with gentle care. The roots, having burrowed deep into the soil, have begun to spread, reaching out to embrace the earth's gifts, its moisture, its nutrients, its steady pulse. The plants, though still young, have found their place in the vast, interconnected web of life. Each one, though separate, is part of the greater whole, a part of the rhythm of the seasons, of life and of time. The air is full of the soft hum of nature. A gentle breeze swirls through the fields, carrying the scent of fresh flowers, damp earth, and the faintest trace of the morning's rain. The sun, now high in the sky, casts its golden light over the land, warming the plants and encouraging them to grow even taller. The world feels alive, full of possibility. The plant's leaves, now full and vibrant, stretch toward the sun, basking in its warmth, eager to soak in the energy it offers. And yet, there is a quiet understanding within each plant, an awareness of the delicate balance that sustains them. Though the warmth of the sun is comforting, the wind too can be harsh at times, and the rains may come in torrents, threatening to overwhelm them. But in this moment, in this peaceful part of the season, the plants are content. They have learned the rhythm of life, the slow, steady pulse of the earth, the quiet change of the seasons, the dance of growth and renewal. The world around them is not without its challenges, but the plants are not afraid. They have learned to bend with the wind, to absorb the rain, to stand firm when the sun shines too brightly. Each leaf, each stem, each root speaks of the quiet resilience that has allowed them to grow. They know that there will be storms, that the winds will blow harshly, and that the sun may scorch the earth again. But they also know that these challenges are not meant to break them. They are simply part of the cycle of life, the ebb and flow, the rhythm that has always been. And so as the sun dips lower in the sky, casting its soft golden glow over the fields, the plants stand tall and proud. They are no longer the fragile sprouts they once were. They are now strong, resilient, full of life. The earth beneath them hums with energy, and the air around them carries the quiet promise of the seasons to come. The plants, though still young, are beginning to show the first signs of their potential, their roots deep in the earth, their leaves stretching toward the sky. They are becoming what they were always meant to be. The world around them continues its quiet, rhythmic dance. The birds sing their evening songs, the breeze rustles through the leaves, and the earth continues to hum beneath the surface. Plants, though small in comparison to the mighty trees that stand nearby, are beginning to feel a quiet sense of belonging. They have found their place in the world, a part of the natural rhythm, a part of the life that pulses through the earth. Asterisk, and as the stars begin to twinkle softly in the sky, casting their faint light over the world, there is a deep, quiet peace in the air. The plants have grown, and though their journey is far from over, they are at peace in this moment. The earth, the sky, the sun, the rain, all are in harmony, and the plants stand as part of that harmony. They know that life, though, full of challenges, is also full of beauty, of growth, and of quiet strength. As the season stretches onward, the plant stands at the peak of its growth. The sky above is clear, and the sun's rays, warm and gentle, continue to nourish it, encouraging its leaves to stretch further. Its once fragile form has transformed into a robust plant, its roots deep in the soil, anchoring it firmly in place. The once small sprout now towers above the surrounding grasses, its leaves large and vibrant, reaching toward the heavens in a silent prayer for the light that sustains. It has learned to grow, to bend with the wind, to absorb the rain, and to reach for the warmth of the sun. But now, it senses that it is on the cusp of a new chapter. The world around it is alive with the sounds of growth. The trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves rustling softly. Birds sing in the distance, their melodies carried on the wind, and the earth hums with the quiet pulse of life. The plant, though still growing, knows that it is nearing its final phase of this cycle. The leaves, rich and green, are showing the first hints of their true strength. The flowers, though yet to bloom, are forming within the plant, waiting for the right moment to open. The plant, like all things in nature, knows that this moment of quiet growth will soon give way to another, a moment of culmination, a fruition that the earth beneath. It feels more solid now, as though it has accepted the plant fully into its embrace. The roots, once searching and hesitant, have now settled deep into the soil, drawing nutrients and strength from the land that has supported them. There is a sense of deep satisfaction within the plant, a recognition of the work it has done. Its roots have found stability, its leaves have grown wide and strong, and now the plant feels the first stirrings of the next phase, the promise of flowers, the promise of seeds that will carry its legacy into the future. The wind picks up. Again, gentle but persistent, swirling through the field. It is not a harsh wind, but a soothing one, carrying with it the scent of distant rain. The plant sways gently, its leaves rustling, but it does not bend as it once did. The steady growth it has experienced has transformed it into something stronger, something more confident in its place in the world. It has weathered the storms, endured the harsh heat of summer, and now it stands firm, unshaken. The wind, which once threatened to uproot it, now feels like a companion, gently guiding it, not with force, but with quiet encouragement. As the days move forward, the first signs of the plant's flowering begin to appear. Tiny buds, soft and green, begin to form at the tips of its branches. They're delicate, almost imperceptible at first, but they hold within them the promise of something more, a burst of color, a burst of life, a burst of new growth. The plant feels the stirrings of something powerful within it, as if the very energy of the earth is flowing through its veins. These buds, though small, carry within them all the wisdom, all the strength, and all the resilience that the plant has gathered through its journey. The world around it feels more vibrant now. The air is thick with the scent of new life, the earth rich with the nutrients of the season. The plants around it, once its competitors, now feel like companions in the shared experience of life. The field is alive with the colors of blooming flowers, the hum of bees, and the rustling of leaves. The plant stands proudly in the midst of it all, its flowers ready to bloom, ready to share their beauty with the world. It is no longer a fragile sprout, no longer a tiny seed struggling to survive. It is now a fully realized plant, a part of the ecosystem, a symbol of growth, resilience, and transformation. And then, just as the sun begins to dip low in the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the field, the flowers begin to bloom. Slowly, their petals unfurl, one by one, revealing their soft, delicate beauty. The plant stands tall in the sunlight, its flowers open wide to the world, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. The air is thick with the scent of the blooms, and for a moment, everything in the world feels perfect. The plant has fulfilled its purpose, it has grown, it has bloomed, and now it is ready to pass on its legacy to the next generation. The wind stirs once more, gentle and soft, carrying the petals of the flowers into the air. They float on the breeze, swirling around the plant in a dance of life. The plant, now fully in bloom, stands tall and proud, its roots deep in the soil, its leaves reaching toward the sky. It has completed its journey, but in doing so, it has created the space for new life, new beginnings, and new growth. The cycle is complete, but it will begin again as the seeds of the plant scatter across the field, carried by the wind, ready to take root and start their own journey. As the days stretch onward and the golden light of summer deepens into the rich hues of autumn, the plant's flowers begin to fade. Their petals, once vibrant and full of life, now soften and curl at the edges, losing their brilliant color as they prepare to give way to the next stage of life. The air, once full of the hum of bees and the flutter of butterflies, now feels stiller, quieter, as though the world is holding its breath. The plant, though its flowers are slowly falling away, stands tall and proud in the field. It has lived its purpose, and now it begins the natural transition of releasing what it has given, preparing the earth for the next cycle of growth. As the last of the flowers fall gently to the earth, the plant feels a deep sense of peace. It is not an end, but rather a quiet surrender to the rhythm of the seasons. The plant's life is not over. It is simply transforming. It has given its beauty, its strength, and its lessons to the world, and now it prepares to give something even more enduring. Its seeds, the seeds, small and delicate, begin to form within the plant's blossoms. They are tiny capsules of potential, full of the life force that the plant has cultivated during its time on Earth. The wind, which has been gently rustling the plant's leaves for weeks now, picks up again, carrying with it the sun of the earth, the cooling air, and the promise of new beginnings. The seeds, now fully developed, are ready to be carried off into the world. As the plant releases its seeds into the wind, you can feel the quiet energy of the moment. The seeds float gently through the air, light and free, carried by the breeze, to distant corners of the field. They do not fall into the earth all at once. Instead, they spread out, drifting across the land like small, quiet messengers. Some will land close by, nestled softly into the soil, while others will travel farther, taking root in new places, starting their own journeys. The plant stands still, watching the seeds drift away. There is no sadness in this moment, only a quiet sense of fulfillment. It has done its part. It has lived, it has grown, it has bloomed, and now it has shared its legacy with the world. The plant, though no longer in full bloom, still stands tall, its leaves rustling gently in the wind. It knows that its purpose has been fulfilled and that its life will continue, not just in the earth beneath it, but in the seeds that have been scattered far and wide. As the last of the seeds float away, the plant's leaves begin to curl and fall, their green surfaces turning brown with the inevitable passage of time. The once vibrant stalk begins to wither, its strength fading with the changing seasons. Yet, even as its life force diminishes, the plant feels no fear, no regret. It understands at a deep, instinctual level that this is simply part of the cycle, the natural rhythm of life that has guided it since the moment it first sprouted from the earth. The earth beneath the plant's roots, though cooler now with the onset of autumn, still holds the memory of the plant's life. Its roots, though no longer actively growing, remain firmly grounded in the soil. They are a part of the earth now, nourishing the land for future generations. The plant's legacy, its strength, and its beauty live on in the soil, in the seeds, and in the memory of the seasons it has experienced. The winds, which had once carried the seeds into the world, now grow softer, gentler. The air carries the scent of the changing leaves, the earth settling into its rest for the coming winter. The world around the plant, though quieter now, is still alive. The cycle of life continues as it always has, and the plant, now fading into the landscape, knows that it has been a part of something far greater than itself. Asterisk, as the last of the leaves fall from the plant's stem, the field is filled with the soft rustle of life returning to the earth. The plant, now a quiet silhouette against the backdrop of the setting sun, rests peacefully in the field. It has lived, it has given, and it has completed its journey. Its seeds, scattered across the land, will carry its legacy forward, ensuring that life, growth, and beauty continue in the world long after the plant has gone. In the stillness, there is peace at peace that comes from knowing that every season, every cycle has its time, and that in the end, life is never truly gone. It is simply transformed, passed on in new forms, always continuing, always evolving. The plant may no longer stand tall in the field, but its spirit remains woven into the fabric of the earth, carried by the winds, and nurtured by the roots of new life. The rhythm of nature continues as it always has, ever steady, ever enduring. As the seasons continue their gentle dance, the earth, now in the depths of winter, rests beneath a soft blanket of snow. The land, once alive with the energy of growth, is now quiet still, awaiting the moment when the first breath of spring will once again stir the dormant soil. The plant, now long gone from the surface, is no longer visible in the field. Its stem, its leaves, its flowers, all have disappeared into the earth, their essence quietly woven back into the land. But even in the stillness, there is life beneath. The surfaced up the seeds, those small, quiet messengers of the plant's journey, lie buried in the soil, nestled in the rich earth. They rest in the quiet darkness, wrapped in the embrace of the land. Here, in the peaceful silence, they wait. They are not dormant, but gathering strength, drawn together in the warmth and security of the earth. They know, deep within them, that their time will come, that the soil will warm, that the sun will return, and that they too will break free from the earth and stretch toward the light. The air outside is cold now, the wind carrying a chill that cuts through the landscape. Yet in the earth, beneath the frozen surface, there is a subtle warmth, a warmth that comes from within, from the life that pulses quietly below the surface. It is the warmth of potential, of new beginnings, waiting to be awakened by the right moment. The soil, though cold to the touch, holds this warmth deep within, nurturing the seeds that will one day rise again as the snow falls gently, covering the fields in a soft white blanket. There is a quiet promise in the air, a promise that comes from the earth itself, from the cycle of life that is never truly broken. The plant, though it has faded from view, lives on in the seeds it has left behind. It lives on in the earth, in the soil that holds its legacy, in the roots that once reached deep into the land. Its spirit is not gone, but transformed, woven into the very fabric of the earth, carried forward into the future. The world may seem still, the land quiet, but beneath the surface there is movement. The seeds, now deep within the soil, are growing in their own time, drawing from the earth's quiet strength. The world may be resting now, but in the coming months, as the first signs of spring begin to appear, the earth will once again stir. The plants will break free from the soil, their roots reaching down, their stems stretching up, and once again the cycle of life will begin. There is no hurry in nature. The rhythm of the seasons is slow, deliberate, and always in harmony. The plant has given all that it can, and now it rests in the quiet knowing that its legacy continues. The seeds, though small and unassuming, carry within them everything. They need to become the next generation of life. And as they lie in the earth, they are not merely waiting, they are growing, gathering the strength they need to burst forth into the world once more. The wind blows softly across the fields, carrying with it the scent of earth and snow, the promise of new growth. The earth feels alive beneath the snow, pulsing with the quiet energy of the life that is waiting to return. And as the night falls and the stars appear overhead, there is a deep sense of peace in the world. The plant, though it is no longer visible in the field, is still here in the soil and the seeds and the very rhythm of nature. It has completed its journey, but its story continues, woven into the fabric of the earth, a part of the endless cycle of life. As the final days of winter pass, a gentle stirring begins beneath the surface of the earth. The cold grip of frost loosens its hold, and the earth slowly warms, waking from its long, peaceful slumber. The air, once crisp and biting, now carries a faint promise of renewal, a whisper of something new just around the corner. The first light of dawn stretches across the horizon, soft and pale, casting its gentle glow over the still sleeping land. It is the quiet, unhurried light of spring, returning once again, dotting the soil beneath the surface, deep within the earth. The seeds that were once carefully scattered by the wind are now beginning to stir. The warmth of the earth, the rising sun, and the gentle rains are working together to awaken them from their long, quiet rest. The roots, still nestled in the safety of the soil, begin to sense the change. There is a subtle pulse, a quiet rhythm, as though the earth itself is calling them to rise once again. The world outside remains still for a moment longer, but you can feel the shift. The wind, which had carried the chill of winter, now begins to soften, carrying with it the faint scent of damp earth and fresh grass. The trees, though still bare, stand tall and proud, their branches reaching up to the sky, as if waiting for the moment when the first buds will appear. The air is still, but it is full of possibility, full of the promise of what is to come. And then, just as the sun rises higher in the sky, a shift happens in the earth. The first delicate green shoots begin to break through the soil. It is a quiet moment, almost imperceptible, as the tips of the sprouts gently push through the earth, reaching upward toward the light. They are fragile at first, soft and small, but full of potential. The soil, now warmed by the sun, seems to welcome them, its cool embrace nurturing them as they begin their journey into the world. Each sprout that breaks through the soil is a promise that life, though it may rest, is never truly gone. It is simply waiting for the right moment to return. The earth, in its quiet wisdom, knows when to stir, when to awaken, when to release the potential that lies within each seed. And as the sprouts rise, stretching toward the light, you can almost feel the rhythm of the earth itself, the slow, steady pulse of life returning. The plant that once stood tall and proud in the field, now long faded from view, lives on in these new sprouts. The seeds it left behind have carried its legacy forward, continuing the cycle of growth. The earth, still humming with energy, holds them gently, nurturing them as they rise from the soil. And in this moment, the plant's story is not over it. Is simply continuing in a new form and a new season. Asterisk, the sun, now higher in the sky, casts its golden light over the field. The air is warmer now, carrying with it the faint scent of blossoms just beginning to open. The first flowers, small but bright, begin to peek through the soil, their petals delicate and soft, unfolding slowly in the warmth of the sun. The world, once still and quiet, is now alive with a gentle hum of new growth. The breeze, carrying the scent of fresh blossoms and earth, feels soft against your skin, like the touch of nature itself. As the sprouts continue to grow, their leaves unfurling with each passing day, the plant's legacy grows with them. The soil, rich and full of life, cradles them as they stretch toward the sky, reaching for the warmth and light that they need to survive. The earth has given them everything they need, its warmth, its strength, its rhythm, and now they begin to live their own story, continuing the cycle that began long ago. Asterisk, the world around them feels quieter now, the birdsong gentler, the breeze softer, as if nature itself is taking a deep breath, preparing for the next chapter in the ever-turning cycle of life. The plants, now strong and steady, stand proudly in the field, their leaves reaching up to the sky. They are no longer fragile. They are part of something much larger than themselves. And with each passing moment, they grow, they stretch, and they take their place in the rhythm of the earth. And in this quiet, peaceful moment, as the first light of spring spreads across the land, you feel a deep sense of gratitude. The plant's journey has not ended. It continues in the new sprouts that have risen from the soil, in the flowers that will soon bloom, and in the seeds that will one day be scattered by the wind. The cycle of life, though it may seem slow, is always moving forward, always growing, always renewing. As the days lengthen, the first signs of full spring unfold before the eyes. The field, once silent and dormant, now hums with life. The air is rich with the scent of freshly blooming flowers and the sweet fragrance of the earth, as if nature itself is inhaling deeply, drawing in the breath of new beginnings. The warmth of the sun spreads across the land, soft yet steady, bringing life to every corner of the earth. The plants, now tall and vibrant, stretch upward, their leaves reaching for the sky, basking in the sun's gentle touch. The plant that began as a small seed, fragile and uncertain, has now become a part of the landscape. Its once tender shoots have grown into sturdy, beautiful plants, their flowers in full bloom. The petals, now open wide to the sun, glisten with the morning dew, each one a testament to the quiet strength and perseverance that has carried them this far. The plant stands tall in the field, no longer just a symbol of growth, but a symbol of renewal, of life's continuous cycle. The seeds it left behind have taken root, sprouting new life that stretches toward the warmth of the sun. These new plants, though still small, already carry the essence of their predecessor. They are not just replicas. They are living continuations of the journey that began with one tiny seed. The legacy of the plant, though it has transformed, continues through these new sprouts, each one a promise of life yet to come. As the seasons move forward, the plant, though now a part of the earth once again, lives on in the quiet rhythm of nature. The flowers that once bloomed so brightly will fade, just as the plant's own flowers did. But this is not an end. It is simply a part of the cycle, the part where a life recedes to make space for new growth, for new beginnings. The earth, with its endless capacity for renewal, embraces the plant once again as it does every living thing. The wind whispers through the field, carrying the seeds of other plants, the stories of other lives. The air hums with the rhythm of the earth, a steady, timeless beat that connects every leaf, every flower, every seed. The plants, though each is unique, share this rhythm. They're part of a greater cycle, a continuous flow of life that moves forward through the seasons, ever renewing, ever growing. In this eternal cycle, there is peace. There is a quiet understanding that life will always return in one form or another. The plant, though it no longer stands as it once did, has found its place in the land. Its essence continues in the soil, in the roots, in the very rhythm of life. The field is no longer just a place of individual plants, but a community of life connected by the earth, by the sun, by the winds. Each plant, each flower, each seed is part of this greater whole dot as the sun sets on this peaceful day. Casting its warm golden light over the earth, there is a quiet, serene beauty in the world. The plants stand in their full glory, their flowers in bloom, their roots deep in the soil. The air, cool and calm, is filled with the promise of the next season. The cycle of life, though ever-changing, continues, always moving forward, always finding new ways to grow, to bloom, to renew dot, and in this quiet, peaceful moment, there is no sense of loss. Only the peaceful understanding that life in all its forms continues. The plant, the seeds, the earth, they are all part of a greater rhythm that moves through the world, carrying with it the promise of new beginnings, of growth, of renewal. This is the eternal cycle, one that will never cease, one that will always find its way through every season, through every challenge, through every change. And as the night falls and the stars twinkle softly overhead, there is a deep comforting sense that life, though it may fade from view, will always return.